Hey, 10 minutes of daily reality, self-help that doesn't suck, man. David Wygant here with John Keegan. He's back.
Yo, what's up, guys and gals?
Hey, John, we were just getting into a really good conversation, one of our 8,000 million fucking great conversations that we have on a regular basis. And we were talking about men gaining their power back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to go on
Yeah,
this
go
one.
ahead. Go into it.
Yeah, because, what I'm seeing, and I think we're all seeing, is a world that's really in bad need of adult men, and for men to really disempowered men. It's all over the place, and there's a lot of unhappy women, and really unhappy women. And one of the reasons is that men have lost their completely. As a whole, I don't mean all men. I'm not talking about every man. I'm talking that in mass, there's a lot of disempowered men. And that's why you and I, both have a business for so long, was empowering men. But it's really gone parabolic, especially with Instagram, Tinder, Twitter, all these social media things really manipulating our emotions. And for men, we're visually stimulated, and someone figured that out, and they've really learned to use it to for their gain by manipulating us and shocking us over and over and over again with imagery that puts us right in our cock, with imagery that takes us out of our purpose and has us chasing girls' asses on Instagram and Tinder, and totally disempowering our integrity and our value system. And it's doing it to young men, older men, over and over and over again, and tapping. And then, of course, there's a whole generation of women, really girls, who have figured this out pretty quick, and and then they also got hooked on one of the biggest things that we all love and girls really love is validation. So likes on Instagram and Facebook are paramount. And this isn't new. I'm not bringing anything new into anybody's conscience. It's almost boring at this point. But what's not boring is what we're talking about, is what an effect of it is that if you go on Instagram right now, a large majority of girls and women are shocking, putting shocking images of themselves to men. Maybe I don't know what they think they're doing, but essentially over and over again, ass shots, her ass cheeks coming out of her shorts, just over and over again. And then they're getting a lot of likes that way. And those same girls link it to dating sites like Tinder or Bumble or whatever, and then they'll be like, hey, I'm not on here very much. Come to Instagram. And DM me, that as if you're going to get a date with her. But really, and then this guy who knows who he is, it could be anybody, it could be a great guy otherwise, but now he's around chasing all these pictures of this girl's ass everywhere. And then let's take it even further, and let's be brutally honest. This is very real. So now this girl's got all these followers on Instagram, and this guy's DMing her, making fun videos to try and catch her. And he's doing all his best. His whole, dating life's about, how do I catch this girl with this great ass? So this total objectification, not all his fault, by the way. But it's totally wrapped up in it over and over again, and disempowered, away from away from his core purpose as a man. And then, now this girl perhaps could rack up 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 followers. You would think she'd be really rich, must be a big business. But the reality is there's not really any money to be made that way, for maybe less than 1%. So then for some of those girls, it goes even a step further. And, you guys can use your imagination for what that is. And so then it's sort of like, the whole thing lacks and stinks, and it reeks of people with no integrity. Everybody loses their value. Everything's cheap. Her physicality's cheap. Him chasing it's cheap. There's nothing beautiful about it. There's nothing human about it anymore. And for men, I say this. And for women, there's the other side. But for men, I will say this. Like, it's time to empower yourself and learn sexual transmutation. Learn to take that energy, not to repress it, not to ignore it, but understand that when, there's an entire generation of women walk around in yoga pants, and you know it, and I know it, and I know that all those women know it. It shocks men. We're visually stimulated. You can see her ass cheeks curved. You can literally see her camel toe. You can literally see it all day, every day, and everybody's acting like nothing's going on. Well, something is going on. And for a man, he's getting sucked into the yoga pant illusion, and then he doesn't see that there's a person beyond it. And I don't mean like he's a psychopath, but I mean it's like, oh, you can just get wrapped up right there. You can get stuck right in the physical, right there. And he's getting stuck in the physical all day long. He's stuck in the physical, right? But you really need to look beyond the yoga pants. You need to look beyond the ass shots on Instagram. You need to look beyond that, and you need to look at, what's your core purpose in life, number one. Has nothing to do with her. You don't actually need her validation. You don't need her physicality. You don't need it, right? You need a purpose. You need to hook into your purpose in life. And that, by the way, when you have real purpose, not like just money-driven purpose, like a purpose, that brings the women that you really want. And then you hook into integrity, real integrity. And then you look at the girl in her yoga pants and her Instagram ass shots, and you ask if she's got any integrity. You ask, who is she? Is she good enough for me? Will she align with my purpose in life? Will she be part of my purpose? Will I be part of a person with integrity's purpose? And I would even urge you guys to go even further and not even date girls who are on Instagram very much at all, who are not, or if you do make the mistake of having to meet people on online dating, not to date girls who are putting shocking images of themselves, of their ass cheeks hanging out and acting like nothing's going on. Don't date those girls. Don't chase that, because it is an illusion. And by the way, then you don't think she's got 5 million other guys DMing her on Instagram, and she doesn't have that little thing going. And then also, it's hard to have a relationship with somebody like that because there's no integrity. So that's really my thing. I don't want to sound like a Quaker or something, but it's real.
You're not a Quaker, and I let you go on because I was shaking my head and I was agreeing with you. And there's so many things. I mean, there's so many comments. First off, okay, I think the yoga pants is destroying culture. Because there's no mystery out there anymore. Instagram is destroying it. There's no mystery anymore. We're looking at pictures and we're making evaluations on pictures. There's no mystery anymore. When people are dating, the man wants to see the woman on Twitter with, a bikini shot. There's no mystery anymore. And what you're doing is that you're going into the physicality of things. So what happens is you're getting involved in a series of unsatisfactory relationships. You're just basically mutually masturbating inside one another. I mean, that's all it really is. So a woman baits a man on Twitter or Bumble or one of the online dating apps, and she hooks him with a great picture, and she shows a little bit of ass in these great jeans, and then the guy starts to salivate like a dog in heat. They go out and they have alcohol, and they sit there and they numb themselves with alcohol because they haven't spoken on the phone and heard each other's voices and voice and tones and everything else, and they're not really connecting. And then the man is so fucking supercharged because he's been looking at these pictures for so many days, and he's using terms like, I really like this girl, I really want this girl, and he's really sucked in by the Lululemon, and he's not really sucked in by her brain. So he's got his sexual energy like a dog in fucking heat, and she's got her energy fucking primed, and she knows that, well, for some reason or another, she thinks that in order to get a guy, she's got to sleep with him quickly, because a lot of women do that. They sleep with men way too quickly. And you get these empty relationships where really it's just mutual masturbation between the sheets. And that's all it really is. And you're not really learning anything. And I've been saying this for a year now. If you truly want a relationship, don't sleep with somebody so you can really see who the fuck they are, because there is nothing clearer when you see somebody without the oxytocin fog. There is nothing clearer. You can see who they are. You can learn about their personality. You have conversations. You become friends, because in reality, you're looking for your best friend. You're not looking for somebody who's going to Lululemon so you can literally read her camel toe and literally read her lips 24/7 through the fucking outline of the Lululemon. We've become a culture that has forgotten what mystery is all about. And I'm going to add one more thing before you go off on the next rampage. And I'm the same way. My relationship now is so phenomenal because when we hang out together, she's not a Facebook person, Instagram person. She doesn't bother texting. She leaves her phone at home. We don't sit around on the computer emailing people at night. We're hanging out and we're fucking talking, communicating, walking, enjoying, seeing things. She's not a social media person. And I've dated social media people. And I got to tell you, it's like dating her and all the rest of her fucking masturbators that seem to be getting her off some way or another. It's disgusting the way our culture has become.
It really, it's amazing. And I feel very liberated that you and I are talking about this because it's as if we're not allowed to even talk about it. But we're not going to be those people. And we hope our listeners are going to also feel like they don't have to be those people. And you've been saying some amazing things lately that I used to not get quite a grasp on, but now I'm really beginning to grasp it, that this idea, I mean, obviously you've had a lot of sex in your life, and you know what that's like, and you know how sex has its own joys and rewards and whatnot. But when you're really looking for a deep and meaningful relationship, sex can get in the way in those early days. I know it can also draw you in and fog you from seeing what's going on. And so when you take it into that realm, that I'm not, you can be intimate in so many ways, and it doesn't all have to be about just the illusion that she creates or you create. It doesn't have to be about just the oxytocin rush when you can really see your best friend there. But also you do have to find that line. You don't want to fall into just frenzies, right? There does have to be something physical between a man and a woman, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you can build up to it. I mean, remember, when we were younger, remember in high school, our first girlfriend, we did everything but, we did everything but. We did just the tip, and it was so exciting. And we spent time getting to know each other. And we spent time looking at things and doing things and going out on dates and driving around and watching things and experiencing
things. I used to love
things.
Driving around.
Yeah, I love driving around. I mean, I still drive around. It doesn't have to be the sex is the bonus. It's the icing on the cake. I'm not telling people, spend 3 months or 4 months with somebody and don't do anything. I mean, but I'm telling people, if you really want to get to know people, spend a couple of months getting to know them. You guys can play with one another. You can jerk each other off. You can go down on each other. You can do things together. You can, have fun that way. Mutual masturbation. You can get kinky. You can do all the things that you want. But when it comes down to intercourse, giving your body to somebody, giving your soul to somebody it's a big commitment. You got to look at your life too. You might be in a stage of your life right now, and I'm not a prude at all. You can be in a stage in your life where you want to hump a lot. You can be a man and a woman, and you want to have a lot of sex, right? Nothing wrong.
You want to go get fucking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go get fucking, and it's fine to go get fucking. I mean, I love that term. But
go get fucking.
But if you're in the stage of your life where you want a relationship, stop the fucking. You've had enough fucking. It's like, and I've said this to you for years.
Stop putting and wait, you're saying something, because this is another thing, because I see it every day now. In New York, you see things a million times more than other people. Like in a block, you walk, you hear, you see what's going on in society very quickly, And one of the things that obviously is going on is a lot of angry women, and they're very angry at men. There's a lot of this going on, like anger, right? And I believe, being the intuitive person I am, that a lot of this is caused because of the online dating apps and Instagram, besides, Twitter firing everybody up. But I believe it's caused by this parabolic, this quickening where all of a sudden, for the first time in history, women could swipe and a guy could just come over and have sex with them. Like before, she had to go to a bar, meet people, had to see that happen. But all of a sudden, for the first time in history, people could a woman didn't have to have any of that stuff. She could just have more sex, and then the mores were lifted and all that. She could have more sex and hookups than women ever could in the past before. And that started happening like crazy. And then people, men and women both, there's not a sex to blame. Men and women both started, just objectifying the fuck out of each other like they've never done to this level before, quicker and faster. And every one of us who's been on an online date has been a part of it. And then, of course, after a while, they just got tired of, probably not even after a while, very quickly getting groped. And then all of a sudden you started seeing in the online profile, not here for hookups.
Not here for hookups.
Yeah.
Okay, then you just basically just put it out there and said, assholes, because a guy like you and I are going to look at that and go, great, an angry woman. I don't want to go spend an evening with an angry woman who basically had a hookup. The guy didn't call her back, and now she's the victim. It's like I call it the hookup victim.
Right. Yeah, now she's the victim, and all guys are horn dogs. They're putting us back in that.
All of us.
Yeah, and we're sick of it, by the way. So that's why I'm telling men to reclaim their power. You understand that you are visually stimulated and you're being shocked, like an American Apparel ad. You walk down the street, so shocking to a male's like vestibular system. It just shocks the fuck out of you. Like all of a sudden, you're looking at a girl, doing a little yoga stretch, and you can see her ass cheeks and the indent of her vagina. Of course, that's gonna fuck your brain up, and that's what they're doing on every Instagram and every Tinder thing, and we're getting stuck in it as American men, or just Western men or whatever. We're getting stuck in that thing, and we now have to breathe through that and do sexual transmutation, which literally means to breathe through that, take that energy and put it into a purpose, put it into being more present, put it into whatever it is you're working on in your life this time. Great relationships will come that way. I'm not saying don't go talk to people. I'm not discounting that, but you do have to. So anyway, I don't want to go off too long. But what else?
Yeah, really. Let's bring you back tomorrow. Let's go into this a little deeper tomorrow. Maybe we'll change the topic tomorrow, but let's go back into this tomorrow, because I think you're onto something that's really true. I think as a culture, I think we have been marketed vagina and dick. It seems to be there's so much subliminal marketing going on, about vagina and dick, and I think men and women are starting to get angry and seeing the effects of it. So we'll be back tomorrow. You can find John at theawakenedlifestyle.com. You can find me at davidwygant.com. You got to spread the podcast around. Don't spread the Lululemon around. And John, remember that fucking tagline we came up with, man? It's still the best.
which is what? Get to the fucking? No, not that one. That's our new tagline.
No, that'd be the new. Get to that. What is it? Self-help that doesn't suck.
Yes. Come on back tomorrow, guys and gals, for more self-help that doesn't suck.